Wow.
It's crazy. We were looking at that old picture.
It's perfect size.
Well, thank you so much for that. That is such a nice feeling.
I'd like to call the North Ridgeville Board of Zoning and Building Appeals meeting to order. Let all please rise to pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please take roll?
Members of the board, Kane is excused. Ali,
Present.
Masterson. Here. Thibodeau.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Kimball.
Here.
Members of the administration, Chief Building Official Fursden.
Here.
Assistant Law Director Morgan. Here. Planning and Economic Development Director Lieber.
There.
Are there any corrections to the minutes dated February 24th, 2022? Hearing none, the minutes will stand. Are there any reports to come from the board this evening from Planning Commission? Thank you. Are there any other reports or correspondence? If not, we'll move on to the public hearing. Will the clerk please read the first application?
EZ 2022-0104, Stacy and Richard Kulik, 6501 Swan Circle, EPN 07-00-033-112-086, applicant same. The applicant proposes building a 4-foot fence from front line of building to street. Property is zoned R1 district. Requests a half-foot variance for height of fence. Applicant shows 4 feet. Code allows 3.5 feet. Section 1294.01 H1A. That's it. Chief Building Official states fences in residential districts from front line of building to street shall not exceed 3.5 feet in height. Corner lots have 2 front yards. Applicant requesting 4-foot height fence from front line of building to street requiring half-foot height variance. BZBA approval required. End of comments.
Is there a representative this evening? Well, then we will make a motion to suspend the bylaws and move them to the end of the meeting, just give them a chance to show up.
I'd second that.
All those signify by aye. Now, will the clerk please read the next application?
EPZ 2022-0106, John and Deborah Beat, 35620 Chestnut Ridge Road, EPN 070023101026, also 07-00-023-101-024, also 07-00-023-101-082. Applicant same. The applicant proposes a new 40 by 50 feet, 2,000 square feet outbuilding on a 54,486 square foot lot. Property is zoned R1 district. Requests 0.5%, 288 square feet variance for lot coverage. Applicant shows 10.5%, 5,736 square feet. Code allows 10%, 5,448 square feet. Section 1294.03 E4. Chief Building Officials comments. 1294.03. E3, outbuilding on lots greater than half acre, 10% lot coverage allowed. Actual lot is 54,486 square feet. Allowable lot coverage is 5,448 square feet. Applicant is requesting 5,736 square feet, which is 10.5% lot coverage, 288 square feet over 10% lot coverage, requiring 0.5% lot coverage variance. BZBA approval required.
Thank you. Is there a representative here this evening? Yes. Sir, if you could please, and if you could step to the podium, state your name and address, and I'll swear you in for the record.
Sure. My name is John Bight. Our address is 35620 Chestnut Ridge Road here in North Ridgeville.
Thank you. Do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make in front of this Board of Zoning and Building Appeals for the City of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer what you gather under the penalties of the law of perjury?
Absolutely, yes.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
Well, we moved here about a year and a half ago from Michigan to be down next to our kids down there. One of the requirements, or one of the things we wanted when we eventually moved, to put an outbuilding up down there to store our stuff for our kids. I got a couple of classic cars I want to bring down that are still stored in Michigan where I live. So I'm trying to, we kind of figured out what we were trying to get here. That size of a building, a 40 by 50 building, is what we came up with. I made a call down to the building office here in October, and just over the phone, and everybody has been just great here. Everybody has helped us out immensely, and asked them, said I'm proposing to put this up, gave them the square foot side. They did some checking, come back and said, we don't see any reason why you can't. So I did the application, did everything else down here, and put it in. Then I was notified that we were a little bit over because of the way I guess they had to figure the center line somehow when they were figuring the property out. So we need the size. I would like to put the size up down there with it. We're spending a lot of money on this building, to say the least. It matches the house, and we just don't want a cluttered yard. I want a nice, safe, reliable place to store our stuff. And like I said, we just want to fit in the neighborhood really good. We just want something in the end result that looks excellent, and something we can be proud of at the same time. But we are asking for the variance because I'm sure to use the space. So.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have to buy the property, and one thing that I think is important to point out, yeah, please stay up there, is you do have a regular shaped lot.
Okay.
And so I can easily see how the math could be just a little bit.
We understand that.
So it's it's not like a rectangle length times width.
No.
I mean, that's a little more complicated.
We fell in love with it because of what it is.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
We just absolutely love it.
And driving up and down Chestnut, and especially that side of town, there are a number of properties that have large.
They're all over the place. Yes.
And I'll be honest, a 40 by 50, I would personally love to have that myself. So I think most people.
It's an expensive project. It's something I saved for retirement. And my wife, Deborah, has been a big supporter of me all this time. So.
And I'm sure I can speak for everyone here in the city that to have projects and cars and things like that in a space versus out in the yard is much more visually appealing. Yeah. Makes perfect sense to me. 288 square feet. If someone's able to drive by and say that's 288 square feet, too large for the property, I'd be very impressed.
Because the building is set back quite a bit. So.
Sure. I mean, if you had just a little bump out on that lot line, you wouldn't need to be here.
Oh, I know.
So it's I think visually it's going to blend in fine with the neighborhood.
It should. We want to put something nice, something we can be proud of that fits in that neighborhood really good down there. Say it. This is not a cheap building. Believe me.
It's not, especially in today's prices.
It's going up as we speak. I think.
So, are there any questions or comments from any board members?
I just have a comment, and it doesn't pertain to anything because just I'm being nosy. Are the two other structures staying?
Well, we have a garage next to the house that when we moved, we can't even park it. It's so full of stuff. I need to put that in the building, so my wife deserves a good parking spot for her car.
Okay, And she
just
gets a
wanna say-
garage, somewhere to park her
And
car,
then the
awesome.
house is there. There's a hole with a little rustic.
Oh, no,
little
I just
sheds
was-
back here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was just
It's
wondering.
a she shed.
I don't know what they're doing in the backyard, it came with the house.
Okay. But our chairman did a very good job of saying you've done everything we've asked you to do.
Oh, we appreciate that. We take the consideration to give us, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from any board members? Anything from administration? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? If not, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Wait a second.
Second.
Will the clerk please take roll?
Ali,
Yes.
Masterson,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Motion carries. Unanimous.
We have a copy of here for us.
Come on up here, you get a signed copy that says. Did they tell you when they're gonna start?
I'll call tomorrow.
Okay.
I
hear you.
6 weeks.
There you go, sir.
Thank you
You're
very
all
much.
set.
Thank you all.
You guys have a good evening.
Did you get any answer?
They didn't realize they had to attend, they were watching it on Zoom.
That is fun.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they're speeding their way up here. Right?
And you guys don't have to stay.
Okay.
Oh,
You can leave.
yeah, you folks are all set. You're welcome to stay.
You're welcome to stay.
I'm sure you have better things.
She's like, oh, God, no. I'm out of here. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Moving on, will the clerk please read the next application?
TPC 2022-0107, Kevin and Michelle Lewis, 6887 Meadow Lakes Boulevard, PPN 07-00-033-103-022, applicant saying, the applicant proposes building a 4-foot height fence from the front line of the building to street. Property is zoned PCD R1 district. Request half-foot variance for fence. Applicant shows 4 feet. Code allows 3.5 feet. Section 1294.01 H1A. Building official comments. 1294.01 H1A, fences in residential districts allow 3.5-foot high fence from front line of building to street. Corner lots have 2 front line of building. Applicant requesting 4-foot high fence from the front line of building to street, BZBA approval required.
Thank you. Do we have a representative for this evening? Sir, if you could please step to the podium and state your name and address, and I'll swear you in for the record.
My name is Kevin Lewis. I reside at 6887 Meadow Lakes Boulevard, North Ridgeville, 44039.
Thank you. Do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make in front of this Board of Zoning and Building Appeals for the city of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer that you got it under the penalties of the law of perjury?
Yes, thank you.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
So with our application, it's pretty simple. We didn't want to go with the 6-foot fence because the way that our house is on the corner lot, it basically would cut off a vast portion of our backyard. So we thought if we got the smaller fence that we'd be able to bump it out just a little bit more to the street. It'll just look a little bit more visually appealing, we think. And so essentially that's why we wanted to go with the smaller fence instead of the 6-foot privacy fence.
Perfect, thank you. I do want to point out that what you have proposed and planned out seems to be a very reasonable idea. The whole purpose and point of our ordinance is on a corner lot is for safety of visual obstructions and such like that. Considering that you have it all designed from the furthest point, rear corner of the home and back, adding more space to the side of the house before you get to the corner, I don't see how there could be any sort of visible obstruction or any sort of safety hazard. Okay, so I think it's a minimal request that seems to make perfect sense. Is there any comments or questions from the board members? Yes, sir.
I pretty much drive by their house every single day. It is a busy street, so with having be other children with a small child and stuff like that, it would be extremely beneficial.
Yeah,
know that.
so we have
To
a
be able to
dog.
secure them in a little bit.
Yeah, our dog, he likes to bark at everybody that walks by, so hopefully it'll probably won't stop that, but at least it'll keep them from like running at people, so.
There you go. Are there any other questions or comments from any board members? Anything from the administration? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? If not, this time the chair will entertain a motion. Do we have a second?
On the second.
The clerk, please take roll.
Ali,
Yes.
Masterson,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
I have a copy up here for you, sir.
And the baby did so good. Mom, you did great. Thanks. You're welcome.
So there you go. There you go. And I'm assuming our latecomers on our next application, could you please read the last application?
PPZ 2022-0104, Stacy and Richard Hewlett, 6501 Swan Circle, PPN 07-00-033-112-086. Applicant, same. The applicant proposes building a 4-foot high fence from front line of building to street. Property is zoned R1 district, requests a 0.5 foot variance for height of fence. Applicant shows 4 feet, code allows 3.5 feet, section 1294.01 H1A. Chief building officials comments 1294.01 H1A. Fences in residential districts from the front line of building to street shall not exceed 3.5 feet in height. Corner lots have 2 front yards. Applicant requesting 4-foot high fence from front line of building to street requiring half-foot height variance. BZA approval required.
Do we have a representative here this evening?
Yes.
If
So
you can
sorry
step
about
up-
that.
Oh, you're fine. If you can step up to the podium, state your name and address, and I'll swear you in for the record.
Stacy Hewlett, 6501 Swan Circle.
Do you swear from the statements you're about to make in front of this Board of Zoning and Building Appeals for the city of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer as you got her under the penalties of law and perjury?
Yes.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
Yes, so we're a corner lot. We're trying to get a fence because we have a really cute and adorable puppy who is getting pretty large. So we just like to have a place for her to run around, and she gets pretty big, about 100 pounds or so. So we just want a place for her to run around, us to enjoy outside with her, play fetch. And she loves people. We would just prefer she didn't get out to see them, preferably. Yeah, that's it.
Well, this is essentially identical to the last application. I know you guys came in towards the tail end of it, but the point I was making at the very beginning before you guys arrived was that the point of the ordinance is for the front yard, in this instance on the corner, is it basically comes down to safety and visible obstructions. The way you have this planned out, I don't see how there would be any sort of safety issues or obstructions, the additional 6 inches. You're still have it proposed from the 50% open. I think it's a well thought out plan, seems to make sense. What kind of dog?
A Great Pyrenees. She's like 82 pounds already at 7 months, so she's pretty big.
I think you'll be coming back asking for a 6 foot at some point.
She's pretty goofy. I don't know if she can jump. She doesn't know how to use her back legs, at least not yet.
Are there any questions or comments from any board members?
No, I think you pretty much.
Anything from administration? If there's nothing else, this time the chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to accept.
There a second? Clerk, please take the roll.
Ali,
Yes.
Masterson,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
You're all set. We have a copy up here for you.
Thank you.
It's not the first time.
You go to case?
He did. I just look like I did.
You graduate from there?
Yes.
work with a lot of the fellows from CASE,
Oh,
so a lot of the researchers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right.
Good evening. Any other business coming from the board this evening? Hearing none, at this time, the chair makes the motion to adjourn, all those signify by aye. Meeting adjourned.
I shouldn't have said anything because.
That was the first thought.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure this should be.
I think I was